Okay, so the next thing that God shows us in His Word is that He tests His people. Okay, the most famous test in the Bible is Job. Okay, God allowed the devil to test Job because the devil was going around, testing God's people and was winning. He was like, is there any worthy opponent out here, right? Is there anybody that can, you know, withstand my temptations? And so God was like, yeah, you can test Job. And the devil was like, Job only loved you because he got everything. It's real easy to love somebody when everything is going right, when everything is great. But can you love that person the same way when it feels like everything is going wrong, right? So God allowed the devil to test Job to see, would he still love him as much as he did when he had everything, right? Would he still be loyal to him, right? When he had everything versus when he had nothing, when he's struggling, barely got a pot to piss in, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So God often tests his people, all right? And you might be wondering, why would God do that? Why would God test his people? Okay? As I always say, nobody has been betrayed more than God. Nobody in this whole entire world has been betrayed more than God. All right? But in his words, we're going based off on his words. If you go to Deuteronomy 13, it says, if a prophet or one who foretells by a dream appears among you and announces to you a sign or wonder, and if the sign or wonder spoken of takes place, and the prophet says, let us follow other gods, lesser gods with the lowercase g, okay? Gods you have not known, and let us worship them. You must not listen to the words of that prophet or dreamer. The Lord your God is testing you to find out whether you love him with all of your heart and with all of your soul. It is the Lord your God you must follow, and him you must revere. Keep his commands and obey him. Okay? Serve him and hold fast to him. That prophet or dreamer must be put to death for inciting rebellion against the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt and redeemed you from the land of slavery. That prophet or dreamer tried to turn you away from the Lord your God, commanding you to follow. You must purge the evil from among you. Okay? So God is telling us that he allows the enemy to test us to see how much we really love him, right? Because there's a pattern in the Bible. It's real simple, right? God would give his people information, they will follow it, then other people will come in, get them to start doing other stuff than what God tell them to do. Then God would not protect them, and then they would become conquered by their enemies. It happens over and over and over again. Like the book of Judges, that's literally what the whole book of Judges was about. them, God saving them, God giving them commands, then following a little bit, then they break the commands, then they go back into slavery, then God saved them. And it just kept happening over and over again till God was like, okay, I'm going to let you just sit in it for a little bit. Because for some reason, you're not getting the information. You're not understanding, okay? God will test you. Well, he won't test you, but he will allow the enemy to test you, okay? But he will prepare you, okay? God would be like, you got a test coming up, okay? You got a test coming up. This was going to be on the test. Like, it's going to be, you know, when those teachers be like, it's an open book. It's an open book test. This is what's going to be on the test. They give you every single thing that's going to be on the test, so there's no way that you should fail the test. That's what God does. He be like, you're going to have a test. This is what the devil's going to test you on. And he's going to prepare you. And then when the time comes, and he be like, okay, it's time for your test. Do you remember what I taught you? Do you remember what I prepared you for? This is your test. So that is another thing that we learn about God and his word, is that he will allow the enemy to test you, but he also will prepare you. He also will give you the information. He will tell you. He will be like, the devil is going to try to, you know, send these people to, you know, get you to break the law. And when you break the law, it's going to destroy you. Or the devil is going to send this man who's going to pretend like you're everything, he's everything that you want, but he's going to get you to not follow me the way that you was following me before you got with me. Before you got with him. Like, it's different stuff. He will tell you. He will show you. But you got to be strong. Okay? You got to be strong when the tests come. Okay? I mean, as you can see, Adam and Eve failed their test. They got kicked out of heaven, but, you know, God redeemed them. And, you know, he helped them out. But they failed their test, even though he warned them 7 years before it happened. Sometimes the test don't come like right after he teach it to you. Sometimes it's a couple months away. Sometimes it's years away. But the thing is, you got to remember the information he gave you. You got to keep him first. Because as long as you keep him first, even if it's years later and you forgot the information, he will bring it back to you if you keep him first. He will help you through the test, okay? I love y'all, and y'all have a great day.